Hey you, it's lc.blogspot.com, and today I have my most asked question for beauty blunders, and it's all about eyeshadow. Eyeshadow tends to be the most intimidating aspect of applying makeup, and it doesn't have to be. Or my eyeshadow is too muddy or have too much eyeshadow, what can I do? Luckily, I have some tips that will work for you, so keep watching. The first reason you could be having problems with your eyeshadow is that it could be the quality of the shadow that you're using. And I have seen it in drugstore, obviously, and I've seen it at high end. Some shadows are just too chalky. So you could try using a primer, but if you really have to work with the shadow, it's just not worth it. So take it back, get your money's worth, and spend it on something else that does work. So while it could be the quality of the shadows that you're using, it could also be the quality of the brushes. When it comes to eye brushes, I would suggest spending around $10 or so. There are some diamonds in the rough, but this is what you want to look for. You want a brush that is soft, with a lot of bristles that are tightly packed together. So take, for example, this brush that's around $10 to $15. It's a Sonia Kashuk fluffy brush. And I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it here, but it's not that soft. It sheds very easily, and it has bristles that are sticking out and coming out. Whereas for around the same price, you could get this one from Sigma, which is an E40 taper blending brush. It's much fluffier, it's softer, you have a lot more hairs to work with, and it doesn't shed. We'll have a code for the Sigma brushes, and I purchased all these brushes myself, full price. I highly recommend them. The next reason you could be having problems with your shadow is you're just not using the right tool for the right job. So say, for example, you want to apply color to your lid. Well, I'm not going to use a big fluffy brush to do that, because all that's going to do is just distribute a little bit of color, and it's on my lids. It's not going to be that pigmented. It's going to get it everywhere, so I'll have fallout everywhere. Instead, by switching to a flat shader brush like this one, this is an E60 from Sigma, it allows me to precisely place the color where I want, and I'll have better results. Another reason your eyeshadow could not be working for you is that you are not taking into account your eye shape. I have to have slightly hooded lids, so trying to use a standard brush, which works for most people, just doesn't work on me. It's going to be too big, and I'm going to get color way up here, and I want it to focus it on the crease and slightly above. So by switching to a much smaller brush like this, especially if you have small eyes, it will allow me to precisely place that color where I want and blend it exactly where I want. And then I can go through and blend it out. If you're dealing with too much shadow, be sure to tap off the excess before you place it on your lid. And this goes into my next tip. If you're having problems with muddy shadow or too much shadow, or your smoky eyes aren't coming out right, you need to make sure that you have a clean brush. Because say if I was to go through and take this and use a purple shadow and then dip it into a brown, it's going to combine those colors together. I'm not going to have the brown, and I'm going to end up with that muddy look. So by taking one color for the brown, one color for the purple, say for example, I don't know why I threw those out there, and then going through with another brush to blend them out, that's how you're going to be able to get that right look, and it won't be muddy. And if you find that you have too much shadow, you can go through with a clean brush and blend that out. But it's absolutely essential, especially with the smoky eye. If you take this brush and you put on your color, all you're going to do is just deposit color over and over again, and you're not going to be able to blend it out like you want, since you want that gradient effect from the darkest to the lightest. So by taking a clean brush, going through and blending out, it will be able to work for you. So those are some of my best tips as to how I fix the beauty blunders of eyeshadow. If you have any burning beauty questions that you would like answered, please let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, have a great day. Be safe, behave, and be well. Love, Elle. Happy Thanksgiving!